It is very, very cold outside, -3 degrees, I think. We're nervous and excited. But at the very least, I hope for some more guidance so that we can make plans. Should we open one?
Yeah.
These are the cards that Ryan had all my family and friends send.
Birthdays are not meant to be spent hundreds of miles from home.
I love you, stay strong, Aunt Carol.
In towns as unfamiliar.
I love you.
I love you.
As unfamiliar as they are frigid.
Weren't you wishing for someone your birthday?
Elise Barber's 34th year seems like a contradiction, considering her body feels like it's lived more than double that.
There's not a time that I stand up, take a step, move, where I'm not hurting.
With her husband Ryan, Elise figured doctors at Minnesota's Mayo Clinic might better understand. Why?
If there are any solutions, they would be at the Mayo Clinic.
Tell us how happy you are.
I'm happy.
Tell me how much you love me.
I'm nervous and happy.
In 2018, Elise Barber was one of at least 690,000 recipients in the U.S. of a knee replacement.
Shortly after college, I started having issues with my knees dislocating. It's horrible. It's awful. And when I went to a surgeon, they immediately said I needed to have surgery or this would continue to happen.
A pair of partial knee replacements resulted in months of pain. But by late summer, she and Ryan cheerfully set out on an inaugural hike with the new knees.
Exercise has always been a huge part of my life.
The hike went well. She went home, fell asleep, all good. Until it wasn't.
I woke up, went to use the restroom and looked down and thought, oh my goodness, this is terrifying.
Dozens of bruises covered her legs.
I was terrified. Yeah, very, very scared.
Over time, they faded until one day they came back.
So when they went in...
Closer look revealed this.
He brings out the photos and you can just, I'm not a doctor, but you can tell the cartilage is flaking off.
There were more weird things. Her hand shook, and her legs never stopped hurting.
I had no idea that my pain could be this bad every day.
Doctors theorized for months, and then finally one settled on something no one had warned Elise was even possible prior to her surgery.
That I had an allergy to chromium, cobalt, nickel, and my implants contained those metals.
And often they'll say it itches or burns.
Allergy expert Dr. Karen Pacheco says, yes, this is a thing. Rare, yes, like maybe 3% rare, she believes. But even that number presents a problem.
If you say 3% out of 100 then fail due to allergy, it's a small number. But I think...
But with the volume that we do, that's not a small number.
Exactly. That is exactly right.
Do the math. If there are 690,000 knee replacements in 1 year, more than 20,000 remain vulnerable. And in many instances, Dr. Pacheco knows it's not even clear why.
Do you feel the need to try to do this as quickly as possible to provide those answers?
Yes.
Why?
Because you could almost consider it a public health problem, right? Because we do so many.
Even the Food and Drug Administration admitted last year one of the fundamental challenges is that biological responses to metal implants are not fully understood.
Our job is to say, okay, think about this.
Dr. Pacheco wants orthopedic surgeons to ask questions like this one regarding reactions to things like jewelry prior to all replacements. That's not standard now. Questions. Elise Barber spent her birthday 700 miles from home in need of a gift.
Do you think there's like an energy when you get to Rochester? You know, like that Mayo hopeful healing energy?
You'll find out.
Yeah. I think more than anything, I'm a planner. I want to make plans for the rest of my life with this person that I love so much, and the future's very uncertain.
Come on.
Ultimately, that day, the only thing doctors gave her,
This week with these barometric pressures changes, it's been really tough.
the only gift, was more uncertainty.
What are those?
What are those, buddy?
When it comes to metal allergies, not even the Mayo Clinic can offer good news.
Let's go.
We're just back in a holding pattern. Didn't give us any information that we didn't already know.
She's since found out she's allergic to even more metals, limiting her options moving forward even more.
Incredibly defeating, yeah.
Come on.
More than a year and a half after the surgery, she now feels like a test case in a billion-dollar industry
This way.
that still can't tell her why.
I think in 20 years, this may be a completely different conversation, but unfortunately for me, I already have the metal in my body.
You're sweet, though.